Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good night. Welcome back to another Life After podcast. This is your host Juan here chilling. Today we're going to be talking about letting go and getting ready and preparing to heal and be happy or find happiness, because it takes a long time. So here we have,
Queen of Pinnacles.
my apologies, we do have the window open because we are at a different location today. Uh, who do I have here again?
Queen of Pinnacles.
All right, guys, there you go. We have Queen of Pinnacles here today. We're going to be talking about, like I said, letting go and preparing to find happiness and accepting that you deserve happiness. So, let's dig into it. There's a lot of things of letting go, and the first topic of letting go is actually realizing that you need to let go of certain things to move forward. You know, at the end of the day, we start with acknowledging that we have issues and going from there, we literally sit on those issues till we realize what the issue is, what it does, why, when, where. But we don't let go for some reason. We just don't let go because either we can't forgive and we can't forget, but realistically speaking, why don't we let go? Because if we do, it'd be so much easier to deal with life, no? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. Because there's a lot of things that we experience, and we just need to hear it from other people's experiences, or just to get it out within ourselves.
So, like, basically just try to bring it out of ourselves. A lot of times, the fact that we hold on to that hurt is because we're scared to experience it again. You know. So what do you say to those people who are scared to let go because they're scared to experience it again? See what I say.
Don't always expect the same experience. You have to let that go, knowing that you won't have that same experience again.
See, that's the thing though. A lot of people have certain experiences to where it stacks up after a while. So they get to a point to where that's what they're just expecting is to experience that hurt. What do you tell those people who already have that experience of experience after experience has been hurt? Do they just let go and restart again, or do they reevaluate? Because something has to be wrong for them to experience the same hurt multiple times. Something has to be wrong, and it's not necessarily that the time, place, or whatever, but maybe they have to look at themselves as well. Because if it continues to happen, it's not the person that you're talking to, is you, or it's not the situation that you're in, it's you. Because if you go through these situations multiple times, if you go through these situations multiple times and it's the same outcome at the end, someone has to reevaluate. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
So, like, at the end of the day, it's just like you have to accept that it is you, and you have to change. But also with change, if you can't accept that it's you and you can't let go, then you're not gonna change because you're still stuck in the sense of I'm still a good person. Why do I have to change? Well, because maybe you're too good. You're too good to the point to where you're so good that you're ignoring that you're doing certain bad things. You know.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot for people. And what do you tell those people who can't do it?
I think you should let go and reevaluate and heal. Maybe you're like missing the healing part of it to be able to be like, okay, that's not going to be an issue for me anymore, and like you can attract better, and it's not constantly in your subconscious. You feel me?
I feel that because right now we're speaking in terms of relationship, right? But let's say someone who has gotten multiple jobs and that job doesn't go well. Let's say they're a mechanic. They work at Honda, get fired. They work at Nissan, get fired. and they
Mhm.
work at Toyota and it goes downhill, or they work at Ford and it goes downhill, what do you tell them?
Mm.
You feel me? Because that's not no relationship at that point.
Right. You still have to let go, reevaluate, and heal. Like, was this even for me? Maybe this was because I need to find a better job, or maybe this isn't the life purpose that I should be in. Maybe this isn't my career path. It's just a lot of things to evaluate and figure out if you did something wrong, or maybe because if you did something wrong, then you can always get the job back, maybe. Or you can find a different place to get that same job. It's just different things to think
Now,
about. But it also plays in friendships, too.
that is very true. That's probably a BMW. Sounds like shit. I'm not cutting that out. I just hope y'all know. Um, you see, but that's the thing. It does, like, there's a lot of things that do play, right? There's a lot of things that can be at play. But I'm sorry. If, you know, in the situation of jobs, if you're going through jobs consistently, you feel
Mm-hmm.
me? And it's a you issue. And it always comes back to you. It really does. It really does it always circle back to you. There's no other way that it doesn't equal amount to you. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, it's your actions that create your outcome. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people say no, no. Yes, it is you because what you do creates what you equal, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, if you give, okay, I'm a mechanic, so I can say this. At the end of the day, right? You can be straight out of school and have a great job, have a great outlook, great opportunity. There could be situations where maybe it's not you. You feel me? It's just the universe telling you it's not you for you to be there. But you're not gonna know that because you're thinking it's you. You know, if people don't know how to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, they're gonna have those issues. Like, okay, me when I was younger, I used to tell myself, man, it's because I look so young that I can't get these certain jobs. In all reality, it was just that there were people who were applying for the same job with higher status, right? I was a mechanic straight out of school, straight out of UTI, and guess what? I applied to Honda, I applied to Toyota, I applied to pretty much every fucking dealership that was around there in the area of Exton, PA, and I did what I needed to do. Resume, I put out my resume and stuff. I told them I was in UTI, and after UTI, I would like to work at their place. I only had one more month to graduate. I did that month. Nobody hit me back up. 2 months after, Honda hit me up. I worked at Honda for 2 weeks, right? And after them 2 weeks, I learned what life was. Because during them 2 weeks, I worked completely great. No late times. Never clocked in late. Always clocked in early. Did everything all right. Had all my customers on point. All their cars had their oil changes on point. Brakes were done great. Everything was nice. But guess what? When a person can work 10 times, 50 times quicker than you and doesn't have to look things up and whatnot because you're still a new mechanic, guess what? You and other people will get replaced. This is how I knew that life is not fair.
Mm.
Bro, we got replaced by a gentleman who came from Europe, moved to Exton, PA, literally with his wife because his wife was like a doctor or some shit. He moved. He used to work at Ferrari. He applied at the same Honda I applied to. They fired three of us for him. Yeah. You know who told us? The manager. Why? Because the manager used to work at UTI as a consultant for workers for Honda. So like they can go from
Mm-mm.
school to Honda. You feel me? And he was like, "Yo, I couldn't do nothing. The higher ups told us to fire you guys. One dude for three people, we get it, bro.
Mm.
That dude used to work so quick. I saw him work, dog. It was no joke. This man did oil and pads at the same time. I can't do that. I don't have the brain capacity at that time to do that. You feel me? He flew through cars like water. So I was like, I got it. I understood. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So, if I didn't have the knowledge to understand that, hey, sometimes life makes you take a step back because other people have the experience and you maybe have to be somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know, you have to understand that, okay, this ain't for me or whatever. But a lot of people can't understand that. You feel me? That's why I asked you, what do you tell those people who just have the same experience over and over and over and just don't know what to do or don't know why? A lot of the time it's themselves. Because at this point, it wasn't me, because I came back to Jersey. And once I got here, I got to work wherever the fuck I wanted. And then I was like, you know what? I want customer service after that. And I didn't want to do customer service, so I went to phlebotomy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing from there. Of course, I had some encounters with some racist people, but that's what comes with the skin color I have.
Yeah.
So I can't blame no one for that. It's
Same.
just how it is.
Yeah.
Right? So those are situations that, you know, don't equal out to what we equal out to, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. So in turn, anyone who's going through those situations, what do you tell them?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one.
Because what I told myself is that if I'm still breathing tomorrow after either getting fired or breaking up from that relationship or in a break from a spurting relationship or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
there's a reason that I'm here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason that I'm here, and it means that I may have a second chance. But if I don't have a second chance, it means that there are new opportunities coming, because
Exactly.
once one door closes, another one opens.
Exactly.
Right? And that's what we all have to understand. That even if the situation is bad now, tomorrow the situation will be different.
It'll get better. It'll
Exactly.
always get better. And life is just full of experiences. That's why you just came into this earth, this realm, is because, like, you're here to experience everything and just to learn. So, like, just take everything as just, okay, move on and just be able to, don't dwell on the past. Just keep moving forward, you know?
Exactly.
You can't dwell on the past if that's what's just, it's going to push you back.
Exactly. And that's where we're going to end it today, guys.
Yes.
We're going to end it with keep moving forward and don't dwell on the past. Okay? So the next episode, what we'll talk about is grasping happiness and acknowledging that you need to be happy. And understanding that happiness is deserving of your life. Because you are a great person.
You are.
So, with that one, I'll let you guys go. Have a good night. I love you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.